Right, let's make sure everything's working. Alright, just tweak that out. Okie dokie. Let's get on with some Spyro. So when we last left it, we were just arriving at the third homeland, or homeworld. Right. This is the Magic Crafters homeworld. It's like home of all the dragons who are wizards, basically. Oh, there is stuff around here. So I think this world is kind of like... No, this is the first world where I sort of... I have that...
Welcome to Magic Crafters. I want you
I don't know,
to
that kind of
release
funny...
the dragons, reclaim our treasure, and recover the eggs from those pesky blue thieves.
Yeah, it's the sort of the first world where I have that kind of like twinge of, oh no, not this world. But oops, I was replaying it the other week and I was kind of like, it's not actually that bad. Here we go. Oh, I didn't really get a chance to sit there. Oh, well, hang on. So one of the sort of recurring enemies in this is these wizards who manipulate the environment, which is, you know, a little bit dick. So you kind of got to get rid of them. Pretty sharpish. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Alpine Ridge, yeah, we'll get to that. Let's just clear up this homeworld first. Get you going. You've got anything in your hand? Yes, you have. There we are. Over there. Ooh. Yeah, this is also the world where we get introduced to this doohickey here, the supercharge stuff. Pep Shane, how you going?
When you see
How you doing, old boy?
like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent!
Go ahead, try it.
Yeah, I've got a few hours free, so I figure I might as well stream. You're watching a bit more RimWorld. Fair enough. Yeah, so you can see it makes you charge just really quickly. That's about it. It lets you smash through stuff that otherwise you can't. We don't need it yet though. How was your RimWorld Let's Play?
This portal
My
leads
sheep
to a
biome,
special
hardest
place
difficulty.
where you can learn to fly. I remember when I was a young dragon, earning my wings.
Learn to
I take
fly.
it,
Got it.
like, I take it the ice sheet biome thing is already the hardest sort of one to start on in terms of RimWorld, I guess. I'm going to assume that because yeah, I don't know anything about RimWorld much. Get lost. Yeah, so this little guy here, we're going to need the supercharge to break that, which we will do in a moment. I haven't changed any settings and stuff so from last time, so if the balances aren't quite right, do just speak up. And again, hopefully the visuals are holding up as well. That's the dream anyway. What's that? It's actually pretty insane. You have to do everything to survive. Well, yeah, I guess I can imagine so. Is RimWorld one of those? I don't know. Like how kind of sort of fastidious is it when it comes to what you need to do? So do you have to like immediately find a way of generating heat and immediately finding a way of generating, I don't know, hunting food and generating water and stuff? So is that the goal, to escape the planet? Or is that just something you can incidentally do? A base building difficulty mode. I figured that's kind of what it was about anyway, though, to be honest. From what? Yeah, you're supposed to build a spaceship. Oh, okay. You see, I always figured it was just kind of like a, I don't know, like an RTS, just kind of a builder. There we go. Build a colony and just crack on with it. Some players stay on the planet until the colony crumbles. Yeah, like I say, I always kind of assumed that was just the goal. Is that it for this world? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Awesome. Right, let's do this one then. That's home well done. Let's carry on. Merciless mode. Ugh. Yeah, that sounds like the sort of thing I would very much not play. Don't like the idea of a merciless mode. Right, let's go. Oh, no! I don't think I've ever been hit by that. Yeah, see you in a bit, dude. I genuinely don't think I've ever been hit by that. Okay. Oh, move your thing. Check. Sorry, that's the sort of thing with these, like the little wizards. Try and kind of capture it with how the landscape is kind of manipulated. It's something they would kind of come back to a couple of times over the series. And there's a world in 3. No, yeah, in 3 that's very similar.
Those big
noisy, gigantic, awful beasts, are you?
Of course not.
Oh, good. I didn't think so.
I also like the little dynamic here where you've kind of got the two different types of wizards sort of, I guess they're fighting against each other. So the ice wizards, if you leave them, they can sort of torment and kill off the druids or whatever they are, the green wizards. I don't know, nice little touch, I suppose. It's the sort of thing that, oh that's not. It's the sort of thing that, I don't know, it's worth sort of seeing and noting as you play the game. It's a nice little detail that, for me, sort of ties a lot of it together. I'm a bit of a sucker for little details in games. Oh, you prick. Fucker. There we go. Right, let's try that again. This time not get blocked off by a door. Oh, at least we got our life back, so it's not that bad. There as well, like the physics just kind of moves the gems in the crates about. I've never even noticed that. That's really cool.
Thank you for releasing me.
This guy just looks like he's so much part of the Izzet off of Ravnica. I think it's the glowy horns. It's in general something that this remake did really, really well. And I remember when it came out, there was a little bit of like fussing over. Some people didn't like the dragons redesigns, and I don't know, I think they're great. It's so full of kind of character and life. It's those things that I don't know. I just sort of they really kind of capture me when I'm playing a game. It's those sort of things that I look to try and talk about, I suppose, when I'm writing about these sort of things. Oh, hello. You got all the way up there. There we go. Make a small adjustment. That's fine. Yeah, let's try that. And see how that sounds in balance.
Great work, Spyro. If you keep this up, you'll learn all the tricks of the Magic Crafter's world.
I also kind of like those kind of things that are just absolutely meaningless statements. Like, yeah, good. I don't know what tricks those are, but whatever they are, cool.
Remember that these blue thieves have stolen eggs outside the Magic Crafter's world as well. Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
That thief's ran off somewhere. Oh, he must have gone the other way. That's okay. There he is. Yeah, I don't know. Some of these are like, they're very specific points where you can catch them. I think that one is like right there. So either these corners or like that bit where he's dropping off the edge. Yeah, it's kind of there where he stops. This is a bit of a bugger. But we'll get him. And, oh. Gotcha. There we go. Ranger, hello. How are you, my friend? See here? Look at that, you've caught that rare and unknown beast, a mead stream. You get to watch me play an old game that was remade new. And listen to waffle like that. I don't know what I just said. Ooh. About to head into your own stream 20 minutes. Ah, fair enough, dude. What are you going to be playing? Or is that a secret? Wait and find out. What have I missed? Something in here? Something in here. There it is. Done. And that's that. Well done. XCOM 2 on the PG channel. Ah, awesome. How's XCOM going? I'm fully honest, I haven't caught much in terms of the streams because of like my situation, so I have no idea how your XCOM stream is going. Spyro, yeah, no, it does look pretty good. It's a really good what's it? Oh, cool, the expansion. I haven't got a lot of history with XCOM. I tried one of them. The first one, I guess, it must have been. Which is pretty good. But I can't remember. I didn't get that far into it, I guess. I think I don't know, these aliens got introduced, they're like discs, like floaty discs, I think they were, and they just steamrolled me and I was like, oh, okay. I'm not cut out for this level of strategy game. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you know what I mean, because I have very vague memories of it. It was just like, I think they were discs. There was like a city level and you were trying to save people. Discs are nasty. I mean, yeah. That is exactly what I'm contending. They absolutely wrecked me. Oh! Get out of the way. Oh. This is another one of those things where, like, you've got two wizards and they're all fighting. I don't know. It's a strange little... But yeah, ice wizards and druids, they don't get on in Spyro. That is, there you go, that's some powerful Spyro lore for you. Yeah, it was like a city level, I think, when I first saw the discs. So you were trying to rescue people rather than do anything else.
On moving everything in sight.
And yeah, I just did not do very well against them. I suppose at some point as well, like, once I actually get set up on this, well, I'll never have a regular streaming schedule because it's basically like when my other half is out at work, I have a few hours where I'm like, yeah, I've got nothing to do, I'll stream. But it would be nice to talk to you at some point about streaming on the PG channel. I feel like if I am streaming, I probably should rep the channel, given who I am on it. But I don't know. Maybe that's just too hubristic. Ooh, let's have a secret. Oh, missed it. All of a sudden, I know it slowed down a lot when Abby just moved on to doing her own stream. But I don't know. I guess you can't blame her. Unless she was here. If she was here in this chat, I would blame her. I was watching some VODs. I will do that though. Always blame every right. I've got to stay on brand somehow.
Bugs. When I become big and strong like you, I'll squash them all.
Until then, remember that supercharge makes you invincible.
Thanks, Wizard Dragon. Oh, I do know that. It's also just mildly disconcerting. I don't know. Well, is it disconcerting? I don't know. There's a slight in my head whenever I hear Spyro talking this, because he's very, very clearly voiced by Tom Kenny. So he does just sort of sound like a grumpier SpongeBob. I think in the sequel as well, he voices a whole bunch more characters, and it's like, oh, you're all SpongeBobs. Oh, come here. So many thieves. Tight corners. And Spyro was not built for tight corners. Got him. Yeah, got him. I don't think the thieves in any of the games are too hard to catch. They are sort of... I have the advantage in this that I know this game rather well, I guess. Like, I have played it more times than I care to admit. For example, I know very well you can just not worry about dying in this level. It is very, very much impossible to die from fall damage. Whereas that's, I don't know, slightly distressing the first time you would play it, I think, because you're like, well, what do I do? I guess I die.
Try combining your supercharge with jumping and gliding, and really explore the high caves.
Right, just gem gathering now then. Did I get the stuff behind me? I got the stuff behind me, that's fine. Crisis averted. Need you, and an extra life, that'll do. Right. Yeah, I know you said this looks good, Randra. Is this like something you've never played? Is this Spyro out of your gaming knowledge? What? This is such like never ever. Oh, it like. I don't know if you're more PC than anything else, but like I know this is coming to PC soon. If it will very much be worth it if you want like an old-fashioned 3D platformer, and what is frankly probably the best 3D platformers from this era, but it also just like a contender on that in general. Spyro is just like the trilogy is just absolutely beautifully made. Go. Oh, I think... Did you mention that in the chat? I feel like you did. I'd love to get a Switch. But alas, expensive as fuck. Definitely not happening. Right. I don't really need the supercharge bit. I just need to get out of the way of these big bugs that are very invincible for now. And then get up here and go talk to this fairy. Switch off PS4, then waiting for the new review. Yeah, I can't blame you for getting the Switch. There's just some really awesome stuff on it. Yeah, I don't know. I would very much quite like one. But at this point, like, given it's still, you know, like a £300-ish investment to get a Switch and a couple of games, it's just too expensive to do. But the stuff that's on it is very, very, very cool at the minute. There's enough out for the Switch that I would be like, yeah, I would go for that. Oh, bollocks. Okay. There we go, got rid of you. Is there another one hanging around here? Or have I got them all? Oh, there's at least one that will need to supercharge. No, no, yeah, totally, dude. Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, I know some people sort of roll their eyes at how much games consoles and games it costs, but, like, it's an expense that's going to last, you know. 300 quid now, but you're going to, ideally, you're going to have enough going for it that it's going to bring you enough enjoyment, so yeah. There we go. Right, it's just gems now. I have no idea how that looked on stream. It looked okay. Here. This one. Where are you pointing? Oh, there. Yeah, no? Oh, I just missed one. Oops. What are you getting for it anyway, dude? I'm sure you've said, but I can't remember. Oh, there you are. And we're done. This level used to give me such, like, headaches as a kid. I think all just because of those big spiders. Sorry, I didn't get that. What have you, sorry, mumbled. What have you picked up for the Switch? Okay, fair enough. But like, what's your Breath of the Wild and something smaller? Breath of the Wild's definitely pretty big. That'd be cool. Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for dropping in. Have fun with your stream. Enjoy yourself with XCOM. is another one of those levels that I just have really, I don't know, really like memories of as a kid. It's definitely one that I don't think is as bad anymore. Again, it's another one where I replayed it and I was like, yeah, this is alright.
This is my favorite supercharged spot. Use it to bash those wizards.
Because it's all built around like this, the gimmick of Magic Crafters is supercharging and getting huge glides out of the deal. Which, I don't know, I was very bad at as a kid. Also because of this platform where there is a thief right here, and if you try and charge for it, it absolutely just wrecks your day, because you will fall off the edge. Also, apologies for the camera there, that was not great camera work.
Well done, Spyro. Thank you for releasing me.
Need to charge down there. Yeah, it's just definitely fit. It's one of those things where like I was so bad at that as a kid. And I don't know why. It was just this kind of gives me like horrible flashbacks. It's not very good articulation for someone who's sort of very happy with their writing. You just go like, oh, it makes me think but that's how it is. 4 legs found. Might actually be. Is that all the eggs in the game? Or if it is, well, more than that. That's odd, if it is. I think it might be that. It might be all the eggs in the game. Excuse me. Oh, I need to find... I desperately need to find some health. There you are.
Listen carefully, Spyro. There's a secret area in the artisan's home world near the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
Artisan's
How can anyone hate?
Sounds good.
How can anyone complain about the designs? Look at that thing. The little ball floating in between his horns. It's just cool. Yeah, I do like the little designs for them, but it's the sort of thing where each world has its own very clear, like in the original release, the dragons were not, there were only like a couple of different sort of models they used. There was sort of a broad theming thing, So certain worlds had big beefy dragons, and certain worlds had like very traditional looking dragons, and some had scrawny dragons. But that wasn't like exclusively so. And then you've got this game that gave them all unique appearances. And I think, like, while the redesigns in the first two worlds are alright, they're relatively downplayed. Then you get to this, and you get some really like outlandish dragon designs, like the guy who has sort of glowy horns, or like that guy there who had the weird floaty orb. It's just like, how can I couldn't imagine complaining about that. That's so funky looking. Perhaps that's part of, like, you know, they did a lot of work with this one, did Toys for Bob, in giving this particular game, i.e. the remake of Spyro 1, that sense of character and that sense of something more than was there originally. Whereas with 2 and 3, because they already kind of had that in the first place, the remakes for it don't really do as much. And I think that probably contributed a little to, in general, why I was, I don't know, why I was perhaps a little cooler on them. Like, I enjoy them, but they aren't quite as interesting. Right, I am missing some gems and I don't know where they are. Ah. Oops. I guess they're over this way then. On the other end of the level. Of course they would be. Oh, there's 2 of them. And they are. Cool, we're done. Cool. Okay, what's left to do? I think it might just be the boss. They're not very lengthy, the Spyro 1 home worlds. There are just loads more of them. So, blowhard it is. Right, here we go. Confronting Blowhard, boss 3 of Spyro 1's rubbish boss selection. Quite like this level though. Very short, but just looks very funky. Lots of weather wizards, which I'm all about. Here's our boss. Big gingerbeardy dude. Oh no, that was spectacularly difficult. Had to have a dinner. Yo, welcome back, Shane. What did you eat? Should probably think about doing that soon as well. And again, we did have Nando's earlier, so kind of full. Macaroni and tomato sauce. Good choice. Very nice.
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped in Crystal. And, neither do I. Who are you again?
I'm out of here.
Alright, that's all the dragons. Helpful, you know, boss advice. Yeah, you've just joined in, Shane, on our boss level for the third home world. So we'll soon be done with this and on our way to the next stage of the game. Blowhard here is not a wildly challenging boss. He sort of stands there, and if you let him, he chucks whirlwinds at you. That's not a thing I'm interested in letting him do, particularly. Oh, he shoots thunderclouds as well. There you go. That is the extent of Spyro's bosses. And then we're done. There we go. Hope you liked that boss fight that tested skills to the max. Feel like all we've learned has come to fruition there. We've really had to do a lot. Or perhaps that's like the level of gameplay that, or level of bosses that I can aspire to. Right, and we're done.
Hop aboard. Would you like to go?
Next world is the Beast Makers. This world used to, I think it's got in it one world that is sort of notorious. Just in terms of trying to collect everything. But again, it's one I've replayed fairly recently, and I feel like it's not too bad. It's the sort of thing that if you didn't know what you were doing, I could see why it's tricky. Anyway, we're here in the swamps of the Beast Makers. Many levels themed around swamps and natural stuff, but also invaded by Gnorcs and their newfangled fancy electricity. Also home this level, not this level, but this homeworld is home to some
Nasty Nork is turning our swamp into an electrified jump heap. And it used to be so beautiful.
I'm sure it was.
There you go. Broad, rednecky sort of accents. That's our theme for this level. Yeah, also home to some to yet more controversial changes, but they're changes that shouldn't be controversial. Which we shall see in a later level on this stage. But but when I explain like what the changes were, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yaya, hello.
Spyro, it's
How are you?
great to see you.
Stream hype,
But
I know,
have to
yeah.
go.
Nice to see you here, buddy. Welcome to some Spyro Reignited. Yeah, man, I knew there was an enemy there. Ow. There's our hidden flight level that we are going to extremely ignore right now. Yeah, how are you, anybody? You doing good? It's always nice to see people here. There should be some critters around here. Get a little bit of health back. Treetops. There's our level of great controversy. Doing great. Good. Glad to hear it. Very good. You're doing great, and yet you have opted to come here. So, sorry. And here's our boss level up there. Metalhead. Which we will get to in a bit. Mildly unique boss. In terms of Spyro bosses, anyway. At least for this game. Oh, did not time that right. I have regrets. Where is it? Horns. Yeah, exactly right. Okay. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Oops. Oops. Nearly fell off. Can I make the glide from here? Yes, I can. Probably the way you're supposed to do it. Right, we've got our key for our chest, which is down here. Oh. Didn't even know. Didn't even think about the ones on the Balloonists platform. How familiar are you with Spyro, Yaya? Something that you know? Are you like me, where this thing is basically just childhood? Well, let's do tree chops first and get it out of the way. Let's stand this level. Never played a Spyro. Wow. In for a treat. I say this. You're not. You're watching me, and you're watching a level that's relatively like known for not being great, but you know, whatever. We may do. At the very least, I'm going to go through this. Know about Spyro, but since I've never owned a console, I've never played it. Man, everyone in here. Nobody's playing Spyro. Like, this was such... Oh, there we go. Thieves. This was like such a huge part of my childhood that the idea that people didn't play it is sort of like, oh yeah, no, of course there are people who didn't play it. Anyway, this is a level built around supercharging and gliding. People don't like it. These guys over here that are orangutans, sort of, they used to be, in the original release, terribly racist caricatures of, like, I guess, African natives? It's not surprising that they changed them. But yeah. Yeah, so in the re-release they became orangutans, which, you know, is less of a cartoon stereotype, I guess. Right. There you go. Bit of mild trivia. You've seen most of this, Shane. What do you think about it? Even if you haven't played them. I'm going to try and do a free fun of orangutans as animals. Right, exactly. Orangutans are cool. I always think of the librarian out of Discworld. Yep. Off we go.
Greetings, Spyro. For an amazing tour of the treetops, don't just stop at one supercharge.
Is perhaps one of the only helpful pieces of advice you get in the game. It looks like a cool game. There you go, good. I'm doing my bit. I'm going to start sending messages to Insomniac and Activision and say, guys, I've advertised your game. What now? Right, let's do a little bit of the old supercharge. If you haven't sort of worked it out yet, yeah, and I'm sure you have, it's not a very complex game. We are a small purple dragon boy. We are rescuing dragons that have been trapped in crystal by Gnasty Gnorc, who is, I don't know, the bad guy? That's his character. He's an orc with a spell. He doesn't like being called ugly. That's the opening cutscene, is he is called ugly, therefore all this happens. Too much platforming. Yeah, I mean, if you aren't into platformers, then that's the thing with Spyro. Like, it is that era of 3D platformers. That's what it is. That's what it do. Like I say, for me, like, Spyro 1, 2, 3 was my childhood, along with stuff like Crash Bandicoot, okay, I suppose, and Gex. I need to deal with you. And Croc and that sort of stuff. So, for me, like, a good 3D platformer is just all I want. Very, very happy with a nice 3D platformer. I feel like it's one of those genres that, I don't know, more or less died. It did a little bit okay on the PS2. There's some good 3D platformers on the PS2, but they have a lot of elements from a lot of other genres rather than just being pure platforming. I was going to say nothing like this exists on PS2, but it does. Stuff like Tai, the other Spyro games, as bad as they are, or as not interesting as they are. Gex. G-E-X.
Spyro, if you jump at the end of a supercharge ramp, you can really go far. I'm all over it.
Gex is a trilogy of platformers. The first one was a 2D platformer, and then the second and third were 3D platformers. Gex is he's a gecko. He's obsessed with TV, and in the first game, he's got a really tragic backstory for some reason. Like, his dad is sort of a NASA engineer who dies and leaves him a vast fortune, and in his sort of depression and grief, he withdraws and just starts just watches TV non-stop, and then an evil villain called Rez comes out of the TV and pulls him into the TV world. Bizarre, absolutely bizarre storyline, and sort of needlessly tragic. And then, so the first game you're sort of platforming over a series of oh bollocks! I've done that wrong. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go that way. Yeah, you spent. Oh fuck it. You spend the game going across like levels based roughly on sort of TV genres. So, like there's a horror world, there's a cartoons world, and then the second and third games they're sort of the same. Like you're still trying to fight a baddie in the TV world, but they're just a little bit more. Oh fuck you! They're a little bit more kind of like this sort of collectathon-y traditional 3D platformers. If you play the American versions, they have different voice acting to the European, the PAL release. I can't remember who the voice actors are for them, but in the American version, Gex is this sort of sardonic, sarcastic arsehole. He's not very. Oh, you shit! He's not very. Don't watch TV too much. Yeah, or you get sucked into the game. Sucked into the TV world. Yeah, in the American version, he's sort of like sardonic, sarcastic, quippy bastard. And then in the English versions, he's voiced by someone older and who's like, he's got a sort of drawl. Like he'll sort of make little quips, but it'll be sort of like, yes, this is what I think. It's terribly witty. Have I done that wrong? I've done that wrong. That's not gonna work. This is why people grumble about this level. Because if you don't get the glide just right, you can't beat it. You can't get all the things. They're okay. They are very, very dated. And Gex himself is kind of annoying as a character because he spends all of his time like making really rubbish sort of bloody hell, making really rubbish sort of reference humour quips. So in that respect, he's sort of a perfect hero for modern day internet goers. He's just a meme machine, but all of his quips are, 90s TV show related rather than current internet age things. It's the sort of thing, if they made a Gex now, he would probably be really popular or absolutely dreadfully hated. Like there would be no middle ground.
That was quite a ride, Spyro. You learned a lot since you were a young glider.
Yeah, well, you could have found an easier spot to get stuck.
If you are interested in seeing them, like the Gex games, I'm sorry, Shane. I'm sorry you feel attacked, buddy. It's not my intention. If you are interested in seeing them, this is really cool. I don't know how familiar you are with like Let's Players and stuff, but there's a couple of them called Chip Cheesem and General Ironicus, who I really like. They are awesome. And for the last couple of years, they've done something called Gextra Life. So they do stuff for the charity Extra Life. But it's all cool. I don't know if you've seen their Gextra Life streams then, where they do like 24-hour charity streams. But the first one was 24 hours of all 3 Gex games. Yeah, the Rogue Warrior one's so good. This is me. I do enjoy a lot of the old like Let's Play stuff. But yeah, the 24-hour stream where they do where they do Gex games. Oh, I did that wrong. Is rather good. And then there was the year after that. I think they did. Oh, no, completely wrong. That's where I need to end up. What was their last year Gex one? Oh, they were playing like any game based off a sort of TV or movie franchise. Lots of them were bad. But yeah, worth watching, particularly if you want to see what Gex is like. But I don't think. Oh, I wonder if they're on PS4. Oh, if they're on PS4, I could stream them. I don't think I would do the whole game though. That sounds too much like self-hate. Have I gone the wrong way around here? I think I might have gone the wrong way around. Oh, I've gone the wrong way around. I need to be down there. Pretty sure that's where you start this run off. Yeah, I'm reasonably sure this is where it has to start. Still remember the credits. Yeah, this is it. This is what I need. That's not what I need. This is the thing. If only Spyro turned on a dime. Unfortunately, we have like this long winding charge to do, and then I don't think there's any platforming challenge in the game as finicky as this. But if I don't do it now, I'll have to come back and do it. So I do apologise, but it needs to be done because I want to get this level done. Profanity in every sentence. Yes. Sounds about right. Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. No! Oh, you knob! Bugger! Bugger! Oh, why? Oh, there we go. It wasn't that bad this time. I already took you out. I don't really need your stuff. Is that everything? Nope. There we go. We're all done. That is definitely the trickiest platforming in the game. Done. Out of the way. Thanks for being here on that journey. Right, there we go. Oh, I can't charge that. I should have known that. Misty Bog next. Which one's this one? Oh, I think this is the one with the trees that eat you. No worries, mate. Take it easy. See you in a bit. Yeah, it's the one with the trees that eat you. A really jive soundtrack. Look at him wiggling. Oh, I love the way they wiggle, it's so weird. Oh, that's so gross. Oh, these frogs also really annoying because they can hit you really, really quickly when you're not expecting it. Almost certain to happen during this play. No, no! What happened there? I mean, I got eaten, but I don't know why I missed them.
Be on the lookout for attack frogs. They are cold-blooded killers.
Attack frogs?
And this used to be such a nice swamp.
There you are. Very erratic charging. So there's two paths here. Oh, that's satisfying. You get a big line of enemies all at once. Ah, I wasn't supposed to get hit there, but never mind. There we go, attack frogs. They just hit you out of nowhere. You've kind of got to like. Damn. Do you die when you get hit, or just? Oh right, okay. So you'll see when we come back. Next to us is a little gold dragonfly. He's called Sparks, and he's our health meter. So every time you get hit, he changes colour. There you go, can you see him there? He's hovering over us. And he has like a dual purpose. He is our health meter and he picks up gems for us. So when you get hit, he turns blue, then he turns green, and then he dies. So you've got like 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 hits in you. Yeah, 1 hit to go blue, 1 hit to go green, 1 hit to lose him, and then on your 4th hit you get killed. And if you kill the little critters, they drop butterflies. So you just saw there, he dropped a blue one that gives me an extra life. But normally those butterflies just heal you. And if Sparks is dead, instead of a butterfly, you get him back. So you see now he's turned blue. But yeah, he's also what picks up all my gems for me. So like if he dies, I have to sort of physically run into the gems to collect them. Whereas if he's alive... Oh, you shit! If he's alive, I can like... he'll pick them up when I'm sort of nearby. Have I explained that okay? He's basically just a health meter.
Thanks for releasing me. It seems like I've been trapped in here since I was your age.
Oh, no.
Why? I remember,
Gotta go.
to fetch your mum an ice cream. I mean, is it as hot as like it is here? Because it is fucking hot here. What are the circles next to? Oh yeah, so the little the circles next to the lives are normally when you kill an enemy they drop a gem, and that you need that for like the collectathon aspect of it all. But if you kill an enemy who you've already had their gem off, instead they drop like a little stone or a pearl or something. Oh, there's normally a dude here. And if you collect like 20 of those, you get an extra life. There, you see the little dots. When that hits a full circle, I'll get an extra life on top of it. Oh, shit. And you can't swim, so I'm very dead, because I buggered up the jump there. So that's a good... I'm glad it's not as hot where you guys are. It has been horrible here. And I'm... As a pasty ginger man, I am very burned. Got myself a slice of Gouda on the way. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, so I have 283 gems on this level. 50, was that 53 dragons out of how many? Around 90 something, I think. And yeah, 29 lives, nearly at 30. It's very easy to get extra lives in Spyro. Either you kill like, either you get like 25 of those pearls, orbs, whatever you want to call them, or you get bastard. Or if you every 10 like little critters that you kill, instead of dropping a normal butterfly, they'll drop a blue butterfly, and that gives you an extra life. Sorry, I shouldn't be swinging the camera out like that. I was just trying to see what there is.
Thank you for releasing me.
Good talk. Get lost. I mean, it's better than just getting outright annoyed at a game. Could rage, or I could just, you know. Yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh, okay, so perhaps the other thing you might not have, like, seen or picked up on in terms of mechanically, yeah, as well, is that obviously I've got, like, a flame and a charge. Certain enemies... Like, there are no enemies you can't flame unless they're wearing armor, in which case you have to charge them. It's sort of like, big enemies can only be hurt by fire.
I'll tell you what.
Small enemies, you can do both.
Smash them, Spyro. Stamp them out and squish them and squash them.
And enemies with armor that's metal
How about charge
have to
them
be
and flame
charged.
them? We are dragons after all.
It's not like, there's not a lot in the way of, I don't know, complex mechanics to old 90s platformers. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there you go. That's basically it. All the mechanics in Spyro are distilled down to, can you smash it? Can you flame it? If not, you can probably fly to it or pick it up. And if it's water, don't go in it. Up until the sequel, in which case he can start. He starts to be able to swim in Spyro 2 and 3. And then in later games, he even, like, he stops breathing fire and he starts breathing other elements. So in, like, the Game Boy Advance games, you can, you start without the ability to, oh bugger, breathe fire, and instead you have the ability to breathe ice. And then you can unlock other breath powers. as you go. I am missing 10 gems. And I don't have sparks to tell me where they are. So let's go get one of them. Cool, there we go. Where are we looking? Something down that way. Okay. Backtracking. Gotta backtrack. Try this. It's going to be something blindingly obvious that I just didn't pick up. Yeah, it's that. Something blindingly obvious. And we're done. Oh. 2 more levels left in this world. We've got 1 more normal level, and then we've got Metalhead. There we go. Filled that little life bar up. The little orb bar. So, more, no. Right, Terrace Village. Hopefully when this comes out on PC as well, they'll have it'll be the version that's got this patch on it where these loading screens used to be really long. Used to be much longer. Already a little bit lengthy, but oh, hello, life right at the start, I'll take that. Dudes in their little tank. I knew there was a little nook right up here. High quality gameplay, just getting smacked by enemies. I almost feel like this level's slightly out of place in comparison to sort of the other ones from this this world. It just doesn't feel very it's nicely themed, I suppose. It's not quite as exciting. It doesn't have any gimmicks to it. It is just a very straightforward L-shaped level. Although I suppose you're supposed to play it first. It's the first one you come across, at least.
The Norks in these parts have discovered the power of electricity, and it really stings.
Oh no. Can't flame those. Can't charge those. There has to be an alternative way of getting into them. Ah. Oop, there we go, some health.
Good job, Spyro. One day you'll be able to tell all the dragons about your amazing adventures.
Sure, but what I'd really like to do is get out of this swamp.
Never quite sure what personality they were going for Spyro in this. Like in some conversations, he's definitely the sort of boisterous hero, and in ones like that, he's very timid. And it's sort of brought to a lot more life with the new animations. But I suppose that's sort of I don't know, the risk, if that's the right word, that you run of taking those liberties with the source material, where it doesn't really have the same expressiveness. Timid dork. He's definitely a dork. If I get around to doing 2 or 3, he has properly doofy moments. But then that's something that's not interpreted. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. But then I say he has like doofy moments. That's something that is lost a little bit in the remakes. There's a character in the second game called Hunter who, in the originals, is kind of this slightly sarcastic rival character. And sort of I don't know what I got a skill point for there. I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, he's this sort of slightly sarcastic rival character, and then in the remakes he's just not. He's just a very hyperactive friend, and it sort of changes how Spyro sort of interacts with him across versions. So in the originals, I don't know, it is a sort of dorky rivalry that they share, and in the remakes, it's just sort of a dorky friendship, I suppose. Have I missed? No, ooh, there's a firework. We need that. Cool. That's 1. And that's 2. There's the 3rd one. Oh, hang on, I think the 3rd one might actually be on the ground down there. Vaguely remember that. Possibly misremembering this? Not entirely sure. Oh no, there it is. And that's that. Another level done. It's not. One thing I kind of do like about this is the fact that it is entirely possible to just complete every level 100% first time you do it. That feels not usual for platformers, particularly of this era. I just feel like normally you need, or it became a sort of normal facet of platformer design that you would unlock new abilities and then have to go back 2 worlds. And you'll be lurking. That's fair enough, Shane. Don't mind lurking. But yeah, it became a sort of normal facet that you would need to return to worlds with new abilities, and 2 and 3 are very much like that. I guess it's time to call it a night. No, not at all. Take it easy, Yaya. It was lovely to see you here. Hopefully your internet sorts out a bit. I've got one more level in me and then I'm calling it quits as well. Be nice to see the end of this world, and then that's that. But thank you for thank you for hanging around and listening to me ramble. And take it easy. I will see you guys in the server. Metalhead, and that is our boss for this world. Oof. Oh yeah, of course, the TI stuff. I know nothing about that. I do know we have an events channel for it, and that is about it. Hopefully it sorts itself out. Right. This is a mildly elaborate boss world in comparison. We've got these little armoured dudes we have to deal with first. Again, like before, these were unpleasant caricatures in the original release, and now not. That was not high-level gameplay. That was quite bad. Just wandered off the edge. Good job. Good job, mate. Swap that. Don't quite know what happened with that guy down there, but never mind. Thankfully, the little rolling guys are easy enough to dodge. And the sort of thing that, like, they catch you out first time, and then it's not so bad. You kind of expect them. Right. Before we face the boss, let's do an explore. I think this is one of those areas that I don't think I ever found as a kid. or like I couldn't remember it when I came to replay this, both recently and also like for review. So it wasn't that long ago that I played it for review, and then also not that long ago that I replayed it before streaming, because this is one of those like chill out games for me. Like that whole area there, I just don't ever remember it as from when I played this as a kid. And yeah, having completely forgot about it and then replaying this game and being like, oh heck, I didn't even realise that existed. It's just like a bit of a moment.
Metalhead is all charged up to meet you. Attacking the power pole should disrupt his power supply.
I like how they give you, like, just straight up tell you how to beat the boss in this one. So this is Metalhead. We can't hit him directly, we have to just charge through and or smash these power poles. Thankfully his attacks will just blow them as well. He's not too hard to just avoid. You don't actually attack him. He's you just smash them and then he runs away. And that's that. Which is, I don't know, different at least to the other bosses in the game, which are not as interesting. I was going to say not as good, but I don't think that's quite right. And then we do it again. Let's go back before it goes off. Oh yeah, and he will just throw enemies at you. And this is why I didn't say not as good, because it's not really good. That's him done. That's the boss stopped. We just run through some power poles and he falls over. Look, right, this is not the most stunning game for boss design. As much as I love it. But it's the sort of thing as well that makes me quite excited to stream the sequels, if I did, because they're so much better, so much more well designed. And that's saying something, because I don't think this is a particularly badly designed game at all. I have a lot of fondness for this, as I'm sure is obvious. And yet the sequels are so much more eloquently designed, I suppose, might be the way to put it. What are we missing? Have we missed something? Oh, there's a tenor there. Cool. Another world done. Right, and with that, that is 2 worlds done today. We will get our first glimpse of the 5th world in a moment, and then I will call it a night. And then next time I stream will be the end of the game, because there are 2 worlds left. We've got 1 more proper world and then 1 shorter finale world, basically. Not long left at all.
Oh, I feel jumped. Are you ready to go?
So let's go see the Dream Weavers. So what have we accomplished today? The 2 trickiest worlds, I suppose. Magic Crafters, with all its gliding and jumping, and Beastmasters, which is probably still the world that gives me the most trouble, as it were. You saw me die a few times on treetops, and get killed by the frogs in the marshy bog world. So it still gives me a little bit of, like, It's a good thing I'm not doing a sort of no-hit challenge run, because I would lose it quite quickly. Other than that, though, that's that done. So it's 2 more worlds, another hour and a half or so. We'll get a little glimpse of the Dreamweavers. This is a mystical, wizardy floating land. And the dragons that live here use magic to craft the dreams of dragons. Very nice and very fancy. Righto, I'm going to call it a day here, guys. Thank you very much for everyone who commented. Thank you very much for everyone who lurked and hung out and generally watched me make a bit of a fool of myself. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully people have liked watching a bit of Spyro. Can I recommend that everyone jump on over to twitch.tv/patientgamers, patient TV. Yeah, twitch.tv/patientgamers, and join me in showing Ranja some love while he's playing XCOM. Other than that, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you around.